Candidates have been taking turns to file their nomination credentials. The last for the day is Mr. Tamsir Jasseh of the Our Homeland political organization. He has arrived and he will be meeting officials of the Independent Electoral Commission to, to file his nomination papers. The arrival of Mr. Tamsir Jasseh there in that Nissan vehicle. So he is the latest leader to come to the IEC to file his nomination papers. So Mr. Tamsir Jasseh is the leader of the Our Homeland political movement. He formed this movement following his decision to resign or quit the Gambia Action Party. He was appointed national president of Gambia Action Party last year. He served in that role briefly. He wanted to be the standard bearer of the party. That proved unsuccessful, and as a result there was a disagreement which led to his departure from this party there. So briefly, Mr. Tamsir Jasseh is the former Director General also of the Gambia Immigration Department. He was born in 1957 in Banjul. He attended St. Augustine's High School. He later traveled to the United States, where he first served in the, he's someone who has a military background. He served in the U.S. Navy for 10 years. He went to war. He's a war veteran. He fought in the Gulf War, commonly called Operation Desert Storm, ODS. He was a veteran of that war, or he is a veteran of that war. That is Mr. Jasseh there. He has come out of in his suit, putting on a face mask with some of the officials of our homeland, security officers too, but also members of the media. A lot of cameras there as Mr. Jasseh enters the IEC to meet with officials and submit his nomination papers. So that's the latest situation here at the Independent Electoral Commission. The nomination of Tamsir Jasseh, wearing the black suit there. He is here to file his nomination papers. So Mr. Jasseh also served as Deputy Police Chief. He also served in the role of Deputy Inspector General of Police in the past. He's also someone, he also has a very interesting history. In 2016, the ill-fated Ndur Cham coup, Mr. Jasseh was was implicated in that coup d'etat, and he was imprisoned at Mile 2 for 6 years. He was in Mile 2 for 6 years. It had to took the intervention of the U.S. civil rights activist, the Reverend Jesse Jackson, who was in the Gambia, who pleaded with Jammeh, which led to the presidential pardon that saw him come out of Mile 2, and he returned to the U.S. He returned to the country in 2016 following the political demise of former President Jammeh. So that's our homeland leader, Mr. Tamsir Jasseh. He's here. It's gone past 2 p.m. in Banjul. And now we have Mr. Tamsir Jasseh, the leader of the Our Homeland movement. He's here to also submit his papers. He's also interested in the role of president. He wants to run for president, so he's also here to present his documents for vetting. So he is the fourth of four leaders, four leaders who are all here today to present. The day started with Ganu, Sheikh Tijan Hydra, the leader of the Gambia Alliance for National Unity. He was the first to present his papers today. We also saw the Honorable Halifa Saleh, who was also here to present his nomination papers. We also have Gambia Action Party, their leader, Aliou Sow, the former military officer, Aliou Sow. So in this election, you have a lot of lawyers, but a lot of people who also have security background. Tamsir Jasseh is a former military officer. He served in the U.S. Navy for 10 years. You also have Aliou Sow, who was a former Gambian Army major. So all of these people really are interested in running for president. So Mr. Jasseh has taken his seat He's right before the chairman of the Independent Electoral Commission, Mr. Aliou Momar Njai. Mr. Njai there being assisted by Njai, sorry, the Chief Executive Electoral Officer, rather, CEO of the Independent Electoral Commission. You also have Joe Colley seated to Mr. Njai's right there. He's the Deputy Chairperson of the Independent Electoral Commission.
$10,000
What? He's 10,000. In his documents. So whether Mr. Jasseh gets cleared by the IEC remains unclear. Mr. Jasseh was jailed for being part of the 2006 coup d'etat led by Colonel Nur Cham, the late Colonel Nur Cham. He was part of that coup. He spent 6 years in Mile 2. And we also understand that Mr. Jasseh holds dual citizenship. We are not sure, we've not seen it anywhere where he has renounced his US citizenship.
The police
and one of the conditions is that
certificate of
you have to be
will be submitted
a Gambian citizen, strictly a Gambian citizen. You mustn't, or you must not hold a citizenship of another country. So whether he qualifies, that will be clear on Saturday when the public scrutiny and the vetting takes place. So that's those are files there, envelopes there containing his documents.
And the rest of
so if Mansu can cross over
from URR,
so that we can hear what they are saying.
Well, make sure they are here before Friday 4 o'clock.
Yes.
faye ko sibit long e sinana kolbe be lonna sibit long la nyi sibit nala abla jam kan dunga mera campagne nyanda sara en karo tili kon.
So there you go, the nomination of Mr. Tamsir Jasseh, born 1957 in Banjul, accompanied by his supporters. It looks like I can see his birth certificate there to show that he is Gambian. The officials are still going through his documents. Moments ago, he handed over $10,000, one of the conditions, the deposit. That is Mr. Jasseh there in the suit and tie. That is Tamsir Jasseh, looking very calm and collected. The nomination of Tamsir Jasseh. Here at the Independent Electoral Commission. He will be last to file his nomination today, Wednesday, on day 5 of nomination. So Mr. Jasseh will bring it to 18. The number of political leaders who have all submitted their credentials to officials of the IEC. Nomination continues and it will last till Friday. That's when it will come to an end. And on Saturday, there will be the public scrutiny of all the nominations to really check who is qualified and who is not. So this is the formal enlisting, if you like, of aspirants, those that are interested in the top job of president. So when you want to be president, this is one process that you must go through. There are various requirements and conditions, and you must fulfill all of these conditions in order for you to be able to stand to contest the election. So this entails you presenting yourself before officials of the IEC with documents to show, or documents that match those requirements. One requirement, which is very obvious, is that you must be a citizen of this country. I mean, you cannot be a citizen of a country when you are not, you cannot be a president of a country when you are not a citizen of that country. So you must be a citizen. So how do you go about proving that? It's by way of your national documents, your ID, your passport, your birth certificate. So these are things that the IEC will request from you. You must also collect 5,000 signatures, meaning you must have 5,000 voters who endorse you, who say, okay, it's you that they want to be president. They want. So he will also take his letter from the IEC boss, the 87-year-old Aliu Momar Njai.
Only after that,
they are conferring.
Your status.
If Mansur can,
Thank you. God bless.
so he has taken the letter.
Thank you, Chairman.
He has taken the letter now. He is leaving, and he too, just as usual, he too will go and face the reporters. He will take questions from reporters. So, Mr. Tamsir Jasseh has completed filing in his nomination. He too is accompanied by his supporters. We have a group of supporters that are outside who accompanied him, who came to the IEC to assist him file his nomination. Reporters there are all waiting for Mr. Jasseh. He has taken the podium, so we will cross over.
The change that we voted for. It is therefore necessary that people like me and others step into the fray and try to bring about the change that we so badly desire. If you look around you, there is nothing in this nation but hopelessness, poverty, disease. But there is tremendous potential, especially in our youth. We need a leader that would come forward and harness this potential, harness this ability to work and transform our nation into what we want it to be, like any other in the world. The problem we have was not created by one individual or one political party. It's a collective responsibility. We all contributed in creating this problem that we have. It is therefore necessary that we all come together again as a nation, come together, put things together, and work to change our condition. The Gambian condition must be changed, but only the Gambians can do that. We are willing to look beyond political lines and the political divide. We are willing to look beyond tribe. We are willing to look beyond sex. We are willing to look beyond anything that differentiates us and recognize the fact that we are Gambian people, one nation, and we have the ability, we have what it needs, and we must do it. At this point, we do not need to intellectualize our problem. Each and any one of you looking at me, listening to me, put your hands in your pockets. I can assure you have no money. We need to change that. We shouldn't be this broke. Allah Almighty did not intend us to be this broke. We are broke because we are corrupt. We tolerate corruption because we refuse to enforce the laws that we have. My government will make sure that each and every law that's in our books is enforced to ensure that we all enjoy the freedoms, all enjoy the opportunities that God Almighty gave to us as Gambians, so we can live decent lives, we can live honorable lives, we can live the life that Allah Almighty wanted us to live. You can see I'm not reading from a text, I'm speaking from my heart. Because it's not about me, it's about you. It's about you, the Gambian people. You who wake up every morning and don't know where the next meal is coming from. You who wake up every morning and wonder how in the world are you going to pay the school fees of your children. It's not about me, it's about you. It's about how many of you are able to guarantee your children that they'll have the kind of future that you deserve for them to have. You're on Facebook, you're on social media, you see the youth of other nations. What you do is you look and you do what Gambians call NIMSE. We need to put an end to that damn NIMSE and make it a reality for all of us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jasseh. Could you allow the press now to put forward our questions? And
thank you very much. You may do so.
With asking, you did mention that Gambians are stranded. You also talk about the issue of corruption. What would you do? What would Jasseh's administration do if elected into office to end those? Because it's easy to say, to recognize those issues, to say the present government is...
I did not say the present government, please.
Well, if you say it's corrupt, that means it's...
It was corrupt before this present government.
Under the present government. Whatever the case is, corruption, there is
corruption, yes.
Very well, that means it is under this present government. So what would you do? It's easy to say we are corrupted, but it's another task to fight corruption.
All right.
How do you intend to fight this corruption?
The first step to fighting corruption is to enforce our laws. For every single corrupt act that is committed in our country, there is a law that calls it a violation. There is a procedure that must be followed to ensure that those who violate the law are held accountable.
Are you saying we are not enforcing the laws presently?
Why are we so corrupt if we are? We are not. The enforcement of the law needs to be much stronger than what it is. We need to empower law enforcement. We need to give them better training, better pay, better opportunity, better work environment, and encourage them so that they can do the job that we've asked them to do on our behalf. But if everybody goes out there and dip their hands in the cookie jar and walk away quite free, nobody sees the damn thing, the thieves would continue to steal and rob us blind. And that's what's happening.
You are accompanied to the IEC with a small number of supporters. Are you able to meet the 5,000 signatories?
Yes, we have met them. We have a problem with our vehicle coming from Upper River region, and they are on their way. And we have been given an opportunity to submit them before Friday. We don't need that much time, but we'll certainly take it. And you're talking about a crowd. You know what crowd that matters? How many ballots you have in a box. If you don't have the ballots in your box, you can have the greatest crowd on earth. It's nothing but the fanfare.
How optimistic are you for December?
No one is optimistic because there is nothing like 50 plus 1. The unfortunate part is that we might end up with a government that was elected by a minority. That is not democracy.
Mr. Jasseh, you understand that there are certain...
Let's get a woman, please.
Mr. Jasseh, in order for Gambians to vote for you, they need to know the reality surrounding Mr. Jasseh. Tell us, there is concern based about your dual citizenship. some are saying you have two citizenship, Gambia and America. Can you shed light on that?
Yes, I do, and the process to drop one has already begun and will be done before you cast a single vote for me. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Jasseh.
Let's get a man this time, please.
Mr. Jasseh, we understand that there are some other documents that you should present to the IEC, but you need to present. It may interest the public to know what are those documents. I'm optimistic that you will need to part time.
One of the documents are the certificate of character, which I applied through the IG's office. I thought it was a matter of working up there and working it through, but they told me to write. It has been written and I'll get it tomorrow. And the other one is the declaration of assets. I just need to be very specific about what I put on that paper so that, because I know it's a legal document, that I need to give the appropriate account of what my assets are, which I can tell you is not much. And then we also, you asked me a question, may I please complete it? We also have my picture. And you can do me a favor and just take my picture and give it to them. That will save us some trouble. We have that. These are under the logo. These are cosmetic things in my view, but of course they are essential and important to the IEC, and I respect very much their requirements. And the vehicle that has some of these documents is actually stuck upriver on its way. So there's no need to rush. We'll do it before Friday, and everyone will be happy.
Mr. Jasseh, you are
Now let's get somebody else, a woman this time, please.
Mr. Jasseh,
One more question, and we can step aside.
we have seen that Gambia lives in a grant and taxation-based country. We live in a grant and taxation-based country, and that taxation-based country do not sustain the youth. So what, my question to you, what will you do if you're in power to help youth employment rise to expectations?
Use what you've got to get what you need. If we look around us, there is nothing but opportunity. Allah Almighty wouldn't create a nation and give it its opportunity to leave. We are the ones that ignore it and then try to look for something else that's not readily available. The sea that we have has tremendous resource. The soil that we have tremendous resource. And we also want to point out the fact that there are some of us who simply don't want to work. But those who wish to work should be given the opportunity, and my government will make sure that that opportunity is given so that they would access international markets. Because if you could just get a container full of smoked fish, like Kongo laka, you can make $100,000 within 90 days. That's $5 million. There is no amount of smoked fish that we can fill, for instance, in the United States. How come we're not doing it?
What are some of the initiatives to help the youth?
The help the youth is to first give them an education and trade. They need to know how to build things, and we need to give them that opportunity. If you look at other nations and the wonderful cities like New York, London, it wasn't built by degree holders, it was built by skillful workers. And that's it. Thank you.
So there you go, the end of the press conference there by Tamsir Jasseh. He has finished speaking to reporters here at the Independent Electoral Commission. His nomination has come to an end, the last candidate for today. His nomination has ended and he will also be heading back. It would appear that he hasn't come with some of the documents that are required. You understand, he didn't bring his certificate of character. He will have to present that. He will have to bring that, and the IEC will look at that too, because your character should also be intact if you want to be president. So these are all things that the assets too. I understand. So we will see. Yes, my screen is back. So that is his vehicle there, waiting for him to come out. So he will be leaving shortly. Mr. Jasseh will be leaving shortly after filing his nomination here at Election House. It's been very busy the past 5 days. Very busy. Very busy. A massive 18 leaders have all presented their nomination credentials, have all officially expressed interest in running for president. by meeting officials of the IEC and giving them their nomination credentials. Mr. Jasseh has just finished doing that, so he has entered his car and he is leaving now. He is leaving the IEC now. He's leaving the IEC now. That is Mr. Jasseh there in his vehicle, being escorted by security after the end of his nomination. The end of this nomination there, police officers around his vehicle. The vehicle now is now moving. That is Tamsir Jasseh. He is leaving after the end of his nomination at the IEC, the Independent Electoral Commission. So today was day 5 of nomination. 4 candidates have all appeared, starting with Ganu and their leader Sheftijan Hydra. Then you had the Honorable Halifa Saleh and his Dai party. You also had the Gambia Action Party and their leader Mr. Ali Sow. So that is the development here at the IEC. So tomorrow will be a massive day. Tomorrow, the incumbent, President Adama Barrow, will be here. He's coming at 11, I guess. But the day will start with Esa Fall, Esa Mbai Fall, the lawyer, one of the newcomers. He too is serious about this job. He wants to be president next month. So he too will be here to bring his documents, his credentials, his papers. So the day will begin with Esa. Esa will come first at 9 o'clock. After Esa completes filing his nomination, we will have the heavyweight, President Adama Barrow, one of the heavyweights in this election. He will be here to also meet officials. Oh, for him, he's experienced when it comes to this. In 2016, he was there. He filed his nomination. I remember that day I was here when he met the Independent Electoral Commission Chairman Ali Momar Njai and told him that all I ask is for you to be fair in this election, because if you are fair, it will be easier for me to accept the outcome. That is the result of the election. That was what he told Momar Njai in 2016. So he's not new to this. He will be here tomorrow to present his credentials once more as he seeks re-election next month. We will also have other candidates who will be here tomorrow after President Adama Barrow. So that is all for now. Thank you for being there. Nomination for president continues. My name is Lamin Jai.